The most recent RSF report on Germany is nothing short of scandalous. It repeats government rhetoric, is not aligned with RSF's mission, it sidelines independent journalists, and puts blame squarely on protesters instead of government's ineffectiveness of protecting press. And I've seen a lot of human rights reports. We don't do that in human rights. We do not blame individuals for state failures. We do not repeat government rhetoric uncritically. We do not sideline those that are most endangered. We do not act against the ethics of the stated mission. The report bases its statistics on 2 journalists who have a vested interest in smearing protesters because of Axel Springer's investments in illegally occupied territories in the West Bank. But these reports are taken uncritically, and the behavior of these journalists are in defiance of the Munich Charter, which RSF says it adopts. And they're usually there as provocateurs and liaison with the government and deliver people up for arrest and report inaccurately with libel, slander. This is the journalism RSF seems to support. Now, RSF says, hey, we don't care about what people write. We don't judge the contents of what they have. But that's not true, is it? Because in RSF, one of them told me that one of their colleagues was going through my reporting and said, hey, even though this guy's been a journalist for 15 years, maybe we don't treat him as a journalist. We don't like what he's posting. They seem to sideline people when they don't like it. So when a journalist was assaulted by the police and his back was fractured, they said, hey, maybe he's not a real journalist. When Ignacio Rosas Landa, a journalist that was working for Berliner Zeitung, was assaulted brutally, documented, even won his court case, they were like, yeah, but here's what the police say, uncritically. The police say that this is a tactic from pro-Palestine protesters to activist press. We can't differentiate between press. These are not real press. Even though in the German law, no one should be beaten, no one should be unprotected. Journalists should be treated with respect if they claim that they're journalists. But RSF challenges that and says, no, it's not true. I mean, what can you do when they say, we're deciding who journalists are? Those aligned with the states are real journalists. Those that are not, we don't care so much about them. I've been assaulted. I've documented it. But when the report was out and I was critical, you know what RSF told me? Well, you should have done more work to collect these for us. I said, I'm not paid by RSF. And they said, we're not gonna report on things if people don't send it to us. One last point to say, why people are not sending or trusting RSF. In one of the reports RSF issued, even though they had plenty of evidence that the police does assault journalists, they said, well, protesters definitely assault journalists and police allegedly assault journalists. This bias should put RSF to shame.